One.
And definitely, you were saying that as a young age, that you was able to just read those notes.
Yeah, I was definitely able to play by ear.
Right.
Yeah, so if I hear somebody singing, I could just play. And then like, let's say there's like a gospel song,
Right.
I would play to it and I'll play with it.
Right.
And that way I know if somebody's singing that song, I'm able to play what I hear.
What you heard.
To whatever melody they were doing.
So that was a natural thing. You didn't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
the
no
science
teacher.
of it, it was just a natural thing that you just picked up.
Yeah.
That's deep, bro. That's how, like you said, it was like an alignment.
Yes, sir.
This is exactly what you was born to do, right? So from the church, right? How did it get to the point where you was like, you know what, I'm gonna produce artists? You know what I mean? Where I'm gonna get the rapper. Like, what was your most influenced artist that got you to the point where, like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and start, producing rappers or different artists that push out different music.
Well, my time, like growing up and stuff, the hottest artists was like, the Tupacs, the DMX, Big Thomas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like that. So, how I start producing is I had a friend. I've always been a computer guy as well. And I had a friend that had a computer and had this beat, and I know he's not a musician like me.
Yeah.
This just hands down, you know what I'm saying? He don't play no instruments, as a matter of fact. But it was, I forgot what software it was. But when I heard him make the beat, I'm like, wait, who made that? It just didn't make sense.
What, the beat wasn't fire? It was
it was hot.
Yeah,
but he plays no instrument.
Yeah.
So whatever it was had to be some type of whatever sample. And from there, I said, yo, I want to try that.
Right, for sure.
Because I know I play instruments and you don't.
Right.
And it's not like to offend them or anything, or like, nah, it's just like, that was crazy though.
Right.
So I'm like, there, I play instruments and I ain't never do something like that.
Yeah.
So I found out how he did it, and then I had my Windows at the time. I had my Windows, I think Windows 98.
Right.
And, so I started just doing my little beats and start recording and doing things that way.
Right.
And that was the start. I wasn't rapping yet at the time.
Right.
That was the start of me making beats.
Right.
And,
how old were you?
Man, that I can't remember, but I could say it was for sure middle school, 6th grade middle school.
Right.
Yeah.
Cause I remember vividly, you know what I mean? I remember vividly, it had to have been like 05, 04, 06, man, and y'all boys was just cutting through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all was cutting through, and we just running around, little neighborhood kids, and we like, yo, look at these guys, bruh. Big Crown Vicks, you know what I mean? A bunch of Mercs on rims, like, in my mind, I was like, yo, them boys moving as a group. Like, did you formulate that Merc Squad? Because that's what I remember. You know what I mean? That music group where Black, say AK, all the guys, like, was that something that y'all came up together as a group of friends, like, yo, we can do this?
Well, let me tell you what's crazy. The first group I was in was called Mystic Six. Mystic Six. We was rapping gospel.
Right. Oh,
yeah, it was rapping gospel.
How old were you at that time?
It was all around that same time.
Right.
I was a teenager.
Teenager.
For sure, teenager. So from there, that's when we had one of the big I'll say head. We probably called him captain or something at the time. Passed away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when he passed away, we kind of took a break because he's the one that always glued everybody.
Right,
You know what I'm
together.
saying? Making sure that, hey, if this person not at rehearsal and he had the car, and much older than me at the time.
Picking everybody.
I wasn't driving yet, so
Yeah.
making sure that, okay, this is the church we're gonna meet up at when we're gonna rehearse. So
dope.
once we lost that, things kind of just spread it out. And that was the beginning of me rapping and singing.
Right.
Was from that. And then and how Merc Squad came was, where we from, the cities have, well, they call it gangs, but we call it like, you know, this my clique or whatever.
Yeah.
Merc Squad came from a dude, my man first degree, part of Sandcastle. So it was a lot of, you know, cities that, you know, mess with each other.
Right.
And that one was from the next city.
Right.
But I ended up going to school with first. You know what I'm saying? In high school.
Right.
And you know, a lot, even the one that passed away, he lived in the castles and stuff like that. So that's how that clique was so big.
Right.
The castle, you know, I was always at the castle park and things like that. But that clique, the clique was already so big that when me and First had link up in school, he was like, yo, and the castle already had their Sandcastle already had their music team going on too. Yeah, so First was like, yo, let's create like a sub. That he had a brilliant mind, because this is in high school. Right. And some people are just gifted for that type of stuff.
Right, natural.
So yeah, so he was like, let's come up with a sub, basically the vision, and let's call it Merc Squad.
Right.
Like, let's do it.
Right.
And that's how it was, literally me and First.
Right.
That went to school together, that came up with the whole Merc Squad.
Yo,
and from there, we're just adding people in.
Yo.
But that's the original. It was me and First, and that's how Merc Squad came about.
Yo, that's dope, because it's crazy, because we never knew that backstory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All we did was just see what we saw. You know what I mean? And it was like motivation to the youngsters. Like, dang, like them boys coming through clean. Everybody got a Merc. And then it was so crazy, because when they asked me, what car you gonna get first? I said, I'm gonna give me a Crown Vic, a Mercury, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why? Because I seen the guys that was older than me, that's what they was riding. They had all the girls, everything was just nice, you feel me? That was my motivation, you know what I mean? So it's crazy to hear that backstory, you know what I mean? So that's how it came, but see, it's a lot of things that I didn't see, you know what I mean? But the little that I did see was the guys that was in the neighborhood. So in my mind, it was always, you know, you profile the gang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was it. But it was much bigger than that.
Yeah. It was big.
Right.
Yeah, we had a lot. I told you, we was just recruiting, just bringing a lot of different people on that we really feel could be a part of the team.
Right, most definitely.
And what we had going on.
And you had to have a Crown Vic. You had to have a Crown Vic.
Yeah,
in my mind, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But if you don't got a Crown Vic, you can't be riding with the boys.
Yeah. Everybody had Mercs.
Right.
Everybody.
Right, most definitely.
Everybody, bro. So it was a big thing.
Right.
And that's what was hot too, after box Chevys.
Right.
And Bubbles. You know what I'm saying?
I remember all that. Now what happened? Like, you know what I mean? You know, because you explaining how it came together, right? I don't think, you know, the guys in the neighborhood, the younger guys in my age, actually understood how you don't hear about that no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand, like, a lot of things die out. You know what I mean? Things come into play. You know what I mean? But how did that right there separate it? Because in my mind, I was like, that was the hottest thing at the time, man. If it was anything that was introducing me to the streets, because I remember the first time I went out with y'all guys with Profile, we went to a little spot, you know what I'm saying, Boynton, and I seen how everybody was crunk. I was like, yo, you know what I mean? This is like my, you know, first experience of Hot Boys, you know what I'm saying, is with y'all guys. So how did that even, you know what I'm saying, not even talked about nowadays?
I mean, so there was no social media at that time like how it is now, you know?
That's a good explanation.
So to hold the legacy is kind of tough, because even with what we were doing, we had our own indie label, which I created, which was Merc the Mic. So it was Merc Squad under Merc the Mic.
I remember that.
You know what I mean?
I remember that.
That's my company. So everything we had to do was from the muscle. I had the CD towers, you know, to print out CDs and do things like that. As by the time social media got to where it's at, after like MySpace, and then you had Facebooks and all of that, we kind of already started growing out of you know what I mean, parting ways, whether if somebody get locked up, or maybe if somebody probably passed away, and people start to grow, then we start having children, so you know, so that kind of, I know when I first had my daughter, I got away, I called it noise, so I pulled myself back. I'm a Pisces, so I pulled myself back a little bit from everybody, just to focus on what I needed, you know what I mean? And that's that, like, I'm new to being a dad, you know? So, yeah, and all of us started having kids. Yeah. So that definitely played a major part of the, you know, the separation versus, and when it comes to the music of the Murder Squad, like I said, that's there. It's funny because we even got one of the mixtapes out on Reverb Nation, Young and Hustling. Volume 1, I believe. So, yeah, man. So that's basically how the beginning of how that started happening, and people just, you know, going their own ways.
Different responsibilities and stuff like that you gotta manage. Man, I'm telling you, like, a lot of that music was something that we played. You know, one of my favorite verse, like, that I heard was definitely from Profile, where he was like, shake it like a salt shaker, rotate it, let me taste it like a salt taster. Can you imagine how many years ago that was? like to hear that verse and to still keep it in my mind, even when I was in prison, I was like, yo, like, them boys really had something going on. You know what I mean? Definitely AK was a hard spitter, you know what I mean? Like, that's like my influence coming up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's something you can't take away from me ever, you know what I mean? Because that's part of my childhood, you know what I mean? Y'all boys play that
music.
That's another
one. That's another person that I was working to during the beginning of the Murder Squad. We all went to the same school first.
Right. That's like, just to see that. But at the end of the day, like, even if people did part away, like, you found ways to come back and build another studio. Because I remember my ex was telling me, like, oh yeah, I'll be in the studio. And he's like, yeah. So when did you get to the point where you was like, you know what, man, let's carry on?
Well, I've always been a hustler, you know what I mean? So when it comes to marketing, promoting, whatever it is, I always had a business mindset. Right. You feel me? So, yeah, like, it all goes back to the consistency, like I said, because once you go back to the drawing board, you're able to, you know, see the vision and execute it. And I have a mentor that always said, if you whatever you have done, you can always do it again.
Yes, facts.
You feel me? So I always believe in that thing right there. Right. So I've had a studio. Everybody was coming to my mom's house recording at my studio in my room. Right. You feel me? So yeah. So having a studio and also having another mentor of mine that had a studio like 20 minutes away, and I would go over there and learn from him even when I was super young. Right. Always gave me that mindset when I'm able to, you know, get it. I'm gonna open up my own studio.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, when it comes to that, like, I do agree, bro. You know what I mean? If you had the platforms that they have now back then, there is no such way that anything would have died out. These guys in these times right now, like, even with my generation, they got it good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They make music, uploaded, viewers, you know what I'm saying, all around the world. It's different when you're passing out CDs. Right. You passing out flyers. You know what I'm saying?
That's my point. So, because those could get damaged and get lost. Right. Imagine the amount, let's just say in the county. Because once you hop, like, from where you from, that's going to help you with that exposure. And people, like, you know what I mean? So imagine how hot when we were rapping, how hot we were. Hot. We performing at all the, in this county, it's not like in Miami where it's like 8 or even more, where it's like 10 different spots you can just bounce to. Here it's like 2 or 3. It's one main one and like two little ones that's going on, but there's always one main one. Right. And I was even the DJ at all of them for like 4 years straight. That's what's up. I was at all the clubs, the main clubs. I was the DJ, DJ C Money. You know what I mean? Right, for sure. So imagine the amount of people in the county that goes out and that had our backs and that had our CDs. Imagine if they had access to what we have now.
Right now, it would
Like
have
an
been
Apple
bigger.
Music or whatever.
Right, it would have been bigger.
They'll still be listening because the kind of music we were doing, we were telling you our real life.
Most definitely.
Like we ain't rapping no bullshit. We telling you what it is. This is how we living.
Right.
This is what we doing. This is what we know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. No. Fact.
There's not like right now where you can research all this stuff. No, you really had to be out here living it.
Right, man.
And we one of the biggest in the county.
Most definitely was. What? Was making so much noise. Like if I could, like that had to been like at least 18 years ago. If I could recite a verse that long ago, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how you know the type of lyrics y'all boys was pushing. Definitely was a whole different type of energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that you can't forget, bro. And that's why I always give salutation, man, to y'all boys every time I see y'all, man, because y'all like my OGs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming up, watching y'all boys handle business, man. So it's like setting an example for the next generation to come. So when we gang up, okay, what we gonna do? We gonna get in the studio like them boys got in the studio. We gonna get the nice cars, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna push that music too. You know what I mean? It's basically like a platform, you know what I mean, that y'all boys build, setting an example for the next generation to come, man.
Yeah.
Like how does that feel, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying, to know like, you know, that y'all set the trend without even knowing that y'all set the trend.
Man, it feels great. It feels great because even here, when I'm walking around, let's say I'm at the mall or something, then I have people like come up and be like, "Yo, man, see when the man used to I'm like, yeah, man." And the thing is like now I'm more on the producing side of things. So like I would rap and I will. Matter of fact, I was thinking the other day. Somebody came to me and was just saying, bro, how unique my voice is, and he was like, "Yo, I think you should be an artist."
Right.
I'm like, I am an artist. You know what I mean? This is literally like 3 days ago.
Right.
Somebody stopped me just to say that because they said they were watching my social media and they heard my voice.
Right.
And think so I definitely still write, but I'm so much more on the producing side of things, you know. So to know at that time when I was rapping and for people to come up and say, "Dang, man, you did a song, man. I remember that. I liked it." That's a good feeling. That means we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. Like when it comes like, see, when you break it down, producing and being an artist or making music, like one of the things that I remember our brother told me, he was like, you know, when people was digging for gold, it's not people that was digging for gold that became, you know, very rich and wealthy. It's the people that are selling shovels. You know what I mean? So, you know, that always puts my mind in that mindset of, you know, producing is like giving a shovel. Like, yo, I give you the foundation to make the music.
Right.
Now, I studied music for a long time when I was in prison, and definitely, like, anybody that knew how to do both took off.
Yeah.
Because they knew exactly what they wanted their music to sound like. Kanye, you know, Travis, you know what I'm saying? All the artists that was able to produce their own music and make music always made their music exactly how they wanted their music to sound.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's a gift. You know what I mean? You can make music and you can produce your own music. That right there is a major gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So most definitely, you know what I'm saying? And the second thing I wanted to say is like when it comes to like being an artist and making music, yo, I was in a chain gang and I was with guys that was rapping on the yard, you know, guys that been down for a long time, and a lot of times they will say like, yo, listen, you know, I feel like I'm a little too old when it comes to making music. Yo, I advocated against that.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, let me tell you something. Like when we was coming up, like, you know, especially in the 60s with people that was, you know, setting examples for us, like we had this one rule, right? And it's the amendment right. And I think that became a backup for us, which is called the freedom of speech.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now the Caucasian used the freedom of speech to be able to speak or advocate against their rights. Our freedom of speech was our music, was our lyrics, was our pain. You know what I'm saying? Was our rap music. You know what I'm saying? Was the things that we pushed on the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we didn't find the words to be able to tell a person, yo, look, I'm being, criminalized or anything. We use those lyrics in the music, and somehow, some way, even the people that wasn't from our culture heard our music.
Right.
It was like, dang, bro, that boy spit pain. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I listen to Tupac, when he's dropping Brenda Has a Baby. You know what I mean? When he dropped those type of music, you can hear the pain and you can feel every lyric.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that was Pop voice telling us like this was happening in the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So anytime I come across people that's doing music, I'm like, bro, I don't care if you're 35, 40. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do music, man.
Right.
It don't matter how old, because music is timeless.
Right.
You have music that's still being played from, you know what I'm saying, in 70, 80, you know what I'm saying, when hip hop took off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a major thing to me, bro. So, if it's something that you're gonna do when it comes to music, keep going, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a tool in the culture that's giving people the platforms to be able to just express themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you hold a key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to producing music, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to continue to push that, bro.
Yeah, there's no age limit on that.
Never.
There's no age limit.
Never.
Because everybody, it's like, everybody has their own, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, let's just say style,
Right.
Sense of humor or something. So
Right.
it's more of when you're like teenagers, you kind of relate to the teens, even though some people have like old souls. But
Right.
the point of this is when you're 20s and you feel it differently. When you're 30s, when you mature or whatever, immature, whatever you want to say it is.
Right.
When you're making that music for that time, it's like chapters, so we all have different times of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
rolling.
yeah, so you might be 50 years old and don't want to hear that teenager stuff
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're way much older now. So
Right.
now you want to hear things around how y'all living while we're 50 right now, while we're 60. So that's why no matter how old you are, if you're a great, musician or music person, just continue doing it till you can't no more.
Absolutely. That's pressure, bro. That's pressure, man. Now, explain to me, like, all right, because I still see you manage the music, especially One Time for Black. You know what I'm saying? Another major influencer in my life, you know what I mean? Still going. I salute, bro, for still pushing. You know what I mean? Never letting the vision die. Right now, I see you transitioning, right? Because you still manage the music, of course.
Right.
But I see you transition to personal training. What led you to that?
I love when I can help. I love when I can help because a lot of times I realize when you blessed to do something, you can't really ask why you not getting as much help as you're giving.
Right.
Because if, like I said, once you take the time to really understand what is it that I'm here for and what is it that I'm here to do, that's why we don't gatekeeper any of that. It's like if I just feel like, man, listen, if I meet you or you meet me or whatever, we cross paths for a reason. Sometimes before it's time or it's the right time. So what got me into that is, first let me go to the beginning real quick. I was supposed to be on a TV show, right? I was supposed to be on a TV show with the artist I was working with. I'm like, dang, you know what? They started, once I seen they were serious, because they started having the storylines and telling me what she had spoke about certain things, and we ended up not doing it. But I got into the gym because I'm like, oh snap, I'm about to be on TV. So
I gotta look good.
Come on, man. I gotta look like what these people on TV look like. You feel me?
Yeah,
so that's and then I was sitting on the couch, bruh. I'm not lying. That's how I know the alignment was real.
Right.
I was sitting in my living room and a Planet Fitness commercial came on.
Right.
So I'm like, cause at first I'm like, man, do I want to go to the gym? Because it's been a while.
Right.
But it's for $1 membership down, whatever it was.
What?
I said, no way.
Still.
Yeah, I remember. Like, all of this is happening when I'm saying I'm about to go to the gym.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I looked up a Planet and it was right behind my house.
Right behind your house. Easy access.
Right behind the house. I got up. I said, I'm not lazy. So I'm talking about, bro, I'm not lying. it didn't take me 5 minutes to leave the house when I seen that commercial. That's how important commercials are too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went there and I said, yo, I see the commercial, $1 down with the trainer.
Right. What? I've never heard a deal like that.
With
bro.
the trainer.
With a trainer?
With a trainer, you get a trainer. I said, let's do it. I signed up right there and then.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning to meet my fitness journey.
Right.
And while I'm in the process of getting ready, I was feeling good. You know what I mean? I like how I felt every time I left.
Right.
Now I didn't know the science that I know now.
Right.
It was just I understood how I felt.
Right.
And I'm very big on energy. You know what I'm saying? So once I seen, damn, I feel good, that pursued me to continue going. My trainer, after 3 months, I don't know what happened, I think left. And now I was stuck for a few months on YouTubing, like trying to YouTube and figure this out.
Right.
And I always seek knowledge. So I was driving and I heard a commercial.
Right.
Personal trainer commercial.
Wow.
I called, I signed up.
Right.
Because I wanted to know what I was doing.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
I
wanted to understand. It had nothing to do with teaching people. It was I did it for myself. I wanted to understand the body, analogy, and all that type of stuff. And then that's how I got certified. It wasn't even to train people. It was just for me.
To have that knowledge so you can help yourself.
That's it. Now, what ended up happening is, after I got certified, I want to go test the waters. I want to go test the world to see. Let me put what I learned out and see what's up.
Right.
So it was never to train nobody. Like I said, all this is for myself to understand. Because then I also, I ended up going to work at a gym.
Right.
I was an independent contractor because I got my company called Fit by Money.
Right.
So I'm an independent contractor. And I said, okay, I'm reading all of this, but I won't know unless I'm actually out there.
Right.
So I was an independent contractor at the gym for 3 months and I learned the system.
Right.
I learned how it works, how you got to do all these calls, whatever it is, how you sign up people. That's how I was able to understand, okay, this is how it would be if I owned the gym.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's always good when you know your own stuff. That's how I look at it.
No, very true.
Yeah, and then from there, I left. I stopped that after 3 months after I learned everything that I wanted to learn, and that was it, bro. And then from there, I started getting too many people coming up to me with my physique.
Right.
Like people that been watching me from the beginning to where I'm at now, I get asked too many questions.
Right.
That's why I came up with the ebook.
Right.
Because I came up with my ebook to answer the most 5 questions. It's called the top 5 ways to get in shape. That's out.
I seen that.
Yeah, you can Google that. That's what made me come out with that, because I was like, yo, listen, if you're doing these top 5 things right here, that's definitely gonna help you on your journey. And so after I see myself keep telling people whether I'm at the gym and things like that, I was like, you know what? Let me start my online coaching stuff.
Right.
So that's how I got into that, because I'm like, I don't really have the time to be at the gym like that,
to train,
and I don't want something that's going to take away from my music. I try to see how I could, do both, which your physique and health and wellness, it all ties into you as a musician, and whether I'm going to be performing, if I want to move and do what I got to do. All that ties into it. So that's how. So I was like, okay, that online coaching would be more better would suit what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started the whole online, and that's the backstory behind it.
No, that's deep, because I could agree to that, because throughout my whole incarceration, that's all I was doing: fitness, training, working out, exercising, calisthenics. I'm big on that. Even when I came home, I got into the gym. Even when I was at work release, I was training with people, just showing them different stuff like that. And getting out and getting certified and going to the gym and getting some clients. I'm not even gonna front with you. like just to be able to manage those different schedules and time takes a lot from you. You know what I mean? And then I got my hands in a lot of things. Of course, the podcast, music, you know, trying to build a business. So my mindset was like, yo, like to be able to do that and train people, that's taking out of your time too. You know what I mean? And I was looking into online coaching too, because if you could just record your exercises, demonstration, examples, it's a lot better, you know what I mean? And when I see you do it, I was like, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Because anytime you get into this fitness world and, you know, you give them valid information, you know what I mean, that's gonna help the next person. You know what I'm saying? That's a plus, bro. You know what I mean? So that's what's up, man. Major salutation to that.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to continue, keep pushing on that, bro, because no matter what you do, you got your hands in the coaching. You know what I mean? If it's, you know, music, getting their voice out, getting fit, you know, doing whatever it is that you need to do, bro, that's how you gotta be with the culture. This is why I did Kultureappetite. You know, anytime I say Kultureappetite, people listen. They're like, what you mean Kultureappetite? I said, see, the information that you put out, people feed off of you. You know what I'm saying? If you put out the right information, they feeding off the right, you know what I'm saying, culture, and then you balancing their appetite. The knowledge that you just put on this platform right here, you know, people that's listening, it's gonna motivate them, bro. Because I'm motivated. You know what I mean? And that's the key, bro. And you've been motivating people for years. Before I left the streets, came back home after doing 11 years, and you still motivate people. So you just a natural motivator. You just a natural motivator, man.
Bro.
And that's what's up, bro. You know what I mean? And bro, just keep on pushing on your journey, bro. You know what I mean? So what's next, bro? Where do you see money for 2026?
Just doing bigger and better things, you know. Bigger records, you know what I mean? More clients, you know what I'm saying? And then let everything line itself up, man. I don't force nothing. I'm just moving divine timing. That's it, man. I'm moving divine timing, man.
That's right.
So that's definitely how I see it moving forward.
Most definitely, man. So, man, this Kultureappetite, man. What message you want to give to the culture as far as like for the younger generation, man, that's coming up, that's watching, that's trying to find their place in this world? What's your message to them?
Stay consistent, whatever you do. Whether if you have friends during that time or not, just stay disciplined. You see? You know, and then keep going.
Most definitely.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Most definitely, man. Well, you already know it's Kultureappetite. It's the podcast that's bringing the culture. You know, Kultureappetite presenting C Money. Major moves, man. Y'all tap in, y'all follow, y'all subscribe. You know what I mean? We're gonna definitely put bro on page on, you know, the information so you can tap in, so you can follow. So you know, it's this what the culture is all about, man. Anytime you got big public figures that's making moves, man, y'all tap in. You know what I'm saying? And you support. And if you have a story, you tap in with Kultureappetite. We get it free of charge, man. You know, it's just a platform that's getting you out there, bro. Money, I'm glad I had you, bro.
Yes, sir.
This right here was a major pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So definitely keep pushing, fam.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, man.
Got no choice. Got no choice, man.